Come on.
Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Hello and welcome to Not Another Leeds podcast with me. It's Danny. Don't let the antlers fool you. I'm wearing them because if you come around the back of me, I'll kick you. And that's why. Welcome to this week's Christmas, not so Christmassy special, I suppose you could say it that way. And first, I will get into my guest. It is Evie. By say get into, I mean say hello. Hello, Evie. How are we? It's been a while since you've been on the poddy.
Yeah,
a couple of weeks at least. How have you been?
ever so well. Just getting ready for Christmas.
Ever so well.
Ever so well.
How posh is that, Jim?
I'm just all festive.
You are.
Ever so well. Yes, one has been reading Shakespeare. Ever
Positively
so well.
spiffing.
Oh, there we go. There we go. She's related to Bamford, isn't she? She took French with Bamford.
She is.
Sorry, I should have said that. I take that back.
How's the handshake?
Yeah. Is it missing the goal? Evie, how's the channel going? Is it okay?
Yeah. It's exciting. I've got a few bits up and coming, but it's just finding the time with work and everything. And yeah. People send messages like, "Oh, where's your review?" kind of thing, and I'm like,
yeah,
I'm trying to get there, but
she'll do it when she's ready. Stop it.
Exactly.
Don't pressure Christmas Day. God, do you know, pressurize. James, how are you, buddy?
I'm good. It's Christmas. We're playing Oxford. Should be about 20-0 tomorrow, shouldn't it? Surely. Yes. Yeah. Yes, I'm good. I'm just retweeting, mate. Just retweeting us out.
Nice. Before we go any further, I've been asked to mention a few pointless gifts. So if you like me, Evie, I like my stocking stuffed. So with pointless stuff, so why not get yourself a handicorn where you can pretend to be a unicorn with your hands. So maybe that's useful for you, or maybe you want a pet rock. And it also tells the weather. If it's dry, it's sunny, and if it's wet, it means it's raining. So please do use.
Or you put it in your mouth.
You can do what you want with it. Yeah, it's in your own personal time.
Talking about
right. Yeah, and there is actually a film coming out. Are you a fan of the? It's like a remake, and it's called Home Stallone. How about that? Yeah,
he'll murder them
in cinemas soon. Right, let's get.
They'll just blast them straight out the door. It'll be a really short movie. You're dead, Joe Pesci. Sorry.
Where do we go from here? Do you know what I mean?
The only way is up.
Yeah, exactly. Well, when you're on the bottom, Evie, the only way is up.
Exactly.
Welcome to Not Another Leeds podcast. Please do like and subscribe before we get into this, and we'll have a time. So we need to speak as much as we can before I get a bit bladdered on the older Baileys there. So Evie, let's give us I know it's been a week, but let's give it the overall thoughts on the Preston game, please.
A game occurred, and it could have been worse, but it wasn't great, but it wasn't. Yeah, it was unfortunately quite a predictable game. We've kind of come to expect these away performances, which we shouldn't. But yeah, we have come to expect them. Yeah, it was just a bit lackluster, just a bit lethargic and predictable in all of the wrong ways. I don't mind, having kind of patterns of play, as Mr. Scott Parker would say, but I don't like it when it doesn't go well. But we got a point, which is more than we got last year. Obviously we were down to 10 men and we lost. So yeah, we got a point. That's probably about the extent of the positivity about that game, in all honesty.
It's trying to elongate that. Yeah, we've got a point, and try not to go into the negative. I know, I totally understand. James, what did you think to the game, mate?
Yeah, it was a really shit one, wasn't it?
I believe that's a technical.
That is the technical. Is the most technical we'll get. But yeah, it was one of them games where we were sloppy. We weren't getting it forward. We were kept coming back. Things were getting played out. But then you look at it and you go, he should have saved it, and we probably had good chances to even win the game, even though we were bad. So yeah, there's that, and that's what I'm going to take from it. Because there's a lot of negatives, but it weren't all just down to us being bad. There was some
Yeah,
we'll get into it.
Yeah, I mean,
they had a game plan, and it worked.
Yeah,
and the ref did.
Yeah. And we can't. I think the issue is obviously the first thing that people come on and say is like, oh, well, you can't blame the ref.
I can,
and that's true to a certain extent. Had our away form not been an issue for the majority of the season, I think more people would be willing to blame the ref for that game. But it was the most blatant, yellow plus card that you'll see all season. If we were in the Prem, I think that's possibly, borderline red. I don't think it was, but I've seen decisions given in the Prem for that. So it was definitely a second yellow, 100%. No, and the fact that he was hooked at halftime means that they know it as well. Like they knew the fact that they'd got away with one, and that the ref, because he'd lost control, wasn't going to give him any more decisions in his favour, so he would have been off the moment that he touched a Leeds player in the second half. So that the opposition understand, that it was a definite yellow when you're hooked at half time.
Do you give a bit of leniency, like for the first one where he's gone to take the shot and he's like, but I think he's over followed through. I've used that a few times in my life, and I'm not for this particular reason. I'm sorry if we had grotesque. I do apologise, Evie. But like you said, you've seen. Okay, that's fair. I'm sorry, me. Yeah. Where it looks like he's followed through, but then he's just gone, oh, fuck it. And then just literally raised his studs at his legs. Like you say, we've seen them given as a red card. For me, I thought, on the first look, I just thought, he's just followed. I've seen him follow through quite a bit, and it's quite unnerving. And with the momentum of his leg, and then he's just took him out. But then when you slow it down, I know it looks a bit worse, but I generally do think that he got away with him.
Follows through even slower when you slow it down.
Fucking hell, here we go. Yeah, but let's talk about the goal then, which for me came out of nothing really. I mean, is it Osmatic? Osmatic?
Oh, yeah, I tried to say it on my video.
That's the pronunciation. It's dickhead. Sorry.
Dickhead. Yeah.
Is that the translation?
Yeah.
Son of a.
That was quick.
Nice. I've heard that before as well. Sorry, I do apologise.
Right,
Evie. So he turns strike rather too early for me. Early? Fucking hell, what is in this Baileys? Rather too easy, and it's not the first time that strike's been turned quite easy. And then not only that, he managed to run down the line and then get the cross in, and then we'll talk about Millier separately after. He should be saving that for me. That is absolutely terrible. I know he gets a hand to it, but Potts does not even get a good connection with it, and it's skewy.
He shins it in. There's not the power behind that shot to justify, because he gets his full hand to it. So the fact that it wasn't like he side-footed it like really powerfully into the back of the net, he shins it in. A palm should be able to save that, and a competent goalkeeper does save that. And statistically, he's 17th in the league now, I believe, in terms of what he should have saved. And, yeah. So
put it like it is.
Yeah, but I think if that was a one-off, but the problem is most games are one-offs type of thing. You know, like we'd forgive him if he hadn't done the Sunderland. We'd forgive him if he hadn't done this. Every single week, and I don't like dragging out any of our players, but you can tell he's not saving goals that he should be saving. He's not saving easy, simple shots. Yes, he'll pull out a worldie. Yes, he's brilliant one-on-one. Yes, he saved us from going 2-1 down at Middlesbrough, and then obviously we go on and win that game. But he's not getting the basics right. And it's the same frustration that we had last season. We get ourselves riled up for the big games, you know, the Middlesbrough, Sheffield United, etc. But then we're dropping silly points to Preston. And granted, we've got a point more than we did last year. We ended up with 11 men on the pitch, and they should have at least had 10, if not 9, with that
6.
son of a itch. So yeah, he should have been saving that. There was enough, but there were lots of opportunities for the ball not to get there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, James, let's talk about the first phase from you, in your opinion. Strike, getting turned, and then the ball across, which Evie makes a good point. He shouldn't have got there in the first place.
Nah, Struck should have wiped him out, shouldn't he? Bam! But, you know...
Just carried on running.
I think he's quite quick, actually, that dude. He was bursting away from Strout quite easily, to be fair. Maybe that's a bit of a worry, because he's not the fastest, and if he gets turned, he's done. And then you think, can Bagel? Yeah, he played. That was a Bagel move then. Bogle, sorry. Can he cut it out? He's just a little bit off his man as well. And then that spam palm man, Jesus Christ. I'll give him the Sunderland goal because we know Kevin Phillips scored that in a mole suit, so I'll let him off with the Sunderland goal. But he should be saving that. He should be saving that. Like I say this all the time. You're not going to perform your best every game, and when you're off it, and you're not clicking up front, you need them moments to be saved by your goalkeeper just to keep you in the game, to keep it at 0-0. And like I say, it's costing us points now. It's cost us points, so he needs to get out for a bit. Put Carnes in, not Darlow.
Yeah.
God.
To be fair, I think Darlow saves that. You know, I generally do think Darlow saves that.
I think he does this and it goes through his hands.
Yeah, Mr. Holland. I think that's the issue. We don't have like if Nonto has a bad game, we've got James, we've got Ramazani, we've got Solomon, we've got Aronson to come on. You know, Christ, at this moment in time, we've even got Geldhart kind of thing. So like we've got options, but with and the same with Pirro and Joseph and Bamford. I know we'll talk about him later.
I'll put Tanaka in goal.
Well, there's options, and
I reckon he's a great goalie. I'll do.
Melier hasn't had competition for years, like suitable competition, basically since he first came in. Well, yeah, he would. And I think that's the issue. There's the saying of, goals win you games, but clean sheets win you titles. And right now, that's what we're hoping for. Well, that's what we're hoping for is, we want to get up. And yes, we just want to get up. If Sheffield United win, that's fine. But realistically, we should be up there. Like, as in, it shouldn't just be an automatic. It should be a title fight between us and Sheffield or whoever, because it's so tight.
I think we should be away and clear. It's just stupid mistakes. And it's just this absolute phenomenon of the away form for some reason. Yeah, we're up there at the minute. Let's not forget that Sheffield United have had 2 points docked, so they could be 5 points. Are they 5 points clear? 3 points clear at the minute.
They're 3 points at the moment.
3, so they should be 5.
Yeah, they cheated, Daniel. So don't count it.
Just 3. Can we talk about the Aronson chance as well? Because do you want to see my genuine? Do you want to see my genuine reaction when I saw that just get blazed over? This was me. I swear to God. He did everything right except finish. I mean, how do you explain that, Evie? I mean, for me, I think there's a bit of a split down the fan base when it comes to Aronson. I have had this argument, well, not an argument, but more of a debate where I think he does everything right. His passing's a bit there, but when it comes to the final third, he's just not there for. I mean, he buzzes about like a little bee. But I mean, where do you stand on him?
He is busy and he is effective, especially in high tempo games. But when it comes to it's my dogs. We've got somebody at the door.
You want to check on them?
No,
is it Domino's? Go on, Evie.
No,
sorry.
Damn it. He just doesn't seem to make a difference in the games where we need somebody creative, and that is what we're missing. And it's in these away games. Those are the only ones that I've really we've missed Jorginho, in my opinion, of just having, and even he wasn't fantastic when it came to kind of creating something out of nothing, but he would drive with it and he wouldn't get muscled off the ball. Aronson's fitness and overall kind of physicality has improved, but we can't deny the fact that he does have his limitations. For as much as he tries hard, he doesn't stop. All of these things, he's got a great kind of can-do attitude. It doesn't alter his physicality overall. And yeah, that miss was just next level. I don't understand how he missed it, if I'm being honest.
What about you, James? How do you explain that? This is a £25 million player that we've bought.
Yeah, well, we know that's not his valuation, really, is it? It's not really his valuation, is it? I think
that's what we bought him for. I'm not wrong.
I know it is, but you're not wrong. We've just massively overpaid, as per usual. I think that he is a player that does need competition, because I think that he does have good games. Like the Middlesbrough game, I thought it was really good. But it's just him playing constantly, bang, 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 and he's going away with America. I know he don't always play, but he's just constantly. So I think he does need a rest, and I think you'll get better out of him. But it's not even the creation that I'm worried about, because we do create in these games. So we're still poor, but we do create chances. The Blackburn game, Nonto is clear through. We're just not clinical. Like when we're shit, we still make chances, and we just need to be clinical. That's the difference to us. If we just do that, just be clinical when we get a chance, get someone that can catch a ball, and we'll be flying. We'll be so far ahead that we'll be winning this bloody match. But
we'll touch on it in a little bit. But obviously, with the Buendia links again resurfacing, we did try to sign Buendia in the summer, but the links are resurfacing again. We'll talk about it in a little bit, but maybe that is the difference between dropping Aronson, putting an established 10 in there like Buendia, but then you've got like Ramazani. Like, I'd like to see him in the 10. People are saying Solomon in the 10, and Nonto, I think we all had high expectations. He signed the contract. He wants to be I mean, let's talk about Nonto.
How many times have we seen that, though? We saw it with Jack Harrison when he signed, and obviously, he fell off a cliff after that, and obviously then got his lovely move to that sparkling gem of a club of Everton that always do really well in the Premier League and are constantly not in a relegation battle. But, we've seen that before in terms of players playing well, signing a new contract, and then falling off a cliff kind of thing. We even saw it with Rodon at the beginning of the season. It took him quite a few games to, resemble Rodon of last year. I would say that he is back to himself now, but
it's better. He scored now.
Well, exactly. He's broken that curse. I think we just want to see. It's not even a case of dropping Aronson. It's a case of a change is as good as a rest. And if we need that change for everybody, because we found it last year, we were predictable. We don't want to be predictable. That's the whole point of having a squad and players that players that want to be here, players that can do different things. Well, we have to be able to see them. What's the point of having the best, in theory, one of the best squads in the division, if we're then not going to actually utilize it, and we're then seen as terrible people if you want to see somebody different, or that you don't like a player. I want my team to do well, and for me, in my opinion, my team would play better with some competition in the 10.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Like maybe, like James said, getting a number 9 in. We'll talk. In fact, we'll talk about that position now. Pirot, Joseph. It's such a big debate at the minute. I do want to touch on Joseph right quick, James, with yourself. For me, he missed. There's this like ongoing debate right now where Joseph caused the goal, but I'm of the opinion that he missed it. It went through his legs. He tried to do a fancy flick instead of just touching it. I missed the Bamford chance. Apparently, it was the same or just as easier. But my problem is that I like Joseph. I think he's got a good high ceiling, and I think he'll be great come 2-3 years time. I think he'll be great. But for me, he's gone for the fancy flick and it's gone through his legs. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Like, why is he not just put that in the net with his foot leaning forward or smashing it into the thing? What's your opinion on that, James? I've been told to shut up.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit, mate. It went in the goal. He's made the run. The defenders had to cover him because of the run. He's caused the goal. He's missed it, but it's caused the goal, hasn't it? It's a goal, mate. I think you're a bit nitpicky here, mate. I'm being honest.
Well, I am being nitpicky because it could have gone either way. It was just fortunate it went in the net.
But it didn't. It went in. Doesn't matter. It went in. That's what you need to worry about.
What I'm saying is, Evie, what's your opinion on this? Yeah, I'm taking it so serious because for me, all that defender has to do is open his legs and it goes behind him and we don't score.
Yeah, but it didn't.
I agree with James. It went in the back of the net.
Thank you for watching this week's podcast. I'm not having that.
Thank you. Jesus Christ, Daniel.
No, it went in the back of the net. So I don't care. What was it?
It was lovely.
I can't remember the exact season, but there was one season when Man United's top goal scorer was own goals.
So own goal.
Yeah. They're really important because
we tried to buy him. Wouldn't sell him.
It means that it's gone in the back of the net. You've caused a defender to mess up. Your good play has caused a defender to screw up, or a goalkeeper to screw up, or I'm fine with it. The same that you'd have had all of the Bamford lovers or apologists or whatever you want to call them, whatever you want to call them. Coming out and saying, see, Bamford scored this, that, and the other, but it ends up in the back of the net. So I don't really care. For me, Joseph, Pirot isn't in that position. Pirot is the most clinical striker that we have. He's the most clinical player that we have in the team. It doesn't necessarily mean that the team as a whole plays better. For me, he should be a sub player because of the fact that we then get the best out of him. Instead of the entire other 10 players on the pitch, or 9 if you exclude goalkeeper, having to change their game to fit Pirot, why can't we utilise Pirot's strength, which is his ability to be clinical, and therefore use Joseph's strength, which is his pressing, his ability to occupy centre-backs, his kind of vision he can see how, different movements, drop of the shoulder, everything like that. Why can't we utilise him to knacker out the players? If he gets a goal, that's a bonus, and then bring Pirot on to just clear up at the end. So for me,
that's a good question.
I think Joseph did make that goal because of his movement, and it does. I don't care how it goes in the back of the net. It went in. We got a point.
Consider me slapped around the face. Okay, that's fair enough. Told, yeah. But my point is that it's gone past Joseph, then gone in. You can't argue that.
All right. Okay, mate. Well done. Anyway, but I think
I'm leaving here with a point.
I think
but just like Leeds.
I think if you pick if you pick Joseph to be your man at the start of the season, I think you just stick with him and do that. Utilize what he's good at right now, because I think there will be a time when he will start scoring. He's, he makes all the right runs. He's scored them goals where it's at the near post. He's like he's ready. He's just sort of ready for that sort of step up to start scoring goals, I think, because all the rest of his game is pretty good. Like, he never seems to give the ball away. He gets the ball and he knocks it off someone. He's really good at that, and he harasses. He's strong. But yeah, give him the start, like 60, 70 minutes to just absolutely terrorize. He may score some goals. Defenders are knackered out. Bring on Perot to just stand around like a lazy shit and just pop them in.
That's fair enough.
I'll take that. It works the best for everybody, and in my opinion, I want my team to do well. I'm not about individuals. Yes, I like certain players and have like a major soft spot for Dan James, but I as well, I'm fine when Daniel Farke like rotates. I'm not saying Dan James has to start every single game. It's like, no, you need.
No, it's probably the best player.
Well, yeah, but there's also games where he goes missing because of the fact that the team won't, the opposition won't allow him to play the way that he needs to play. So it's about sussing out opposition, game management, who's in form, who you need to kind of play themselves into form. Solomon's now looking good, but he needed a few crappy games in order to get his match fitness to then start contributing. So for me, we just, I think, that's.
Yeah, she thinks.
Yeah,
she thinks.
I think a lot.
Therefore, she is.
I think. Yeah.
Just going back to the 10 rule. Smarty makes a point here. For me, I'd love to see Rothwell in there. Do you think Rothwell could do a job in there, James?
Yeah.
If you remove Aaron
now I've seen him play. Yeah, definitely. I didn't. He's such an unknown quantity in this team, because I just generally thought he was going to be our next Jadon Anthony. It'd come on very sporadically throughout the season, just popping on when someone was injured or whatever. But he's been forced into a role. He's really good. He's really good at driving with the ball, and he can actually play a good pass if Farke just lets him do it a bit more. You see the runs being made, and then you sort of hold off a bit, and you keep seeing him running and running. Like, go on, just do it. So yeah, I definitely could play there, because he can, and apparently he can score, but I know he's not done it yet. So
yeah, we're still waiting for that worldie. He'll pop.
If we don't get a 10 in, and you got Ampadu back, either Tanaka or Rothwell could potentially play in that position, just to give Aronson a rest and a game, just to give, if we don't get one. But I think we either get another number 9 if Lord clears off, or we do get a competition in specifically for Aronson.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next after the next segment. Evie, quickly on Rothwell.
I've got a little bit of like a hot take kind of thing of.
Hot take. He's got a meme for that. No,
don't you think that there's something quite beautiful about looking at underdogs? So we all were really underwhelmed when Rothwell came in at the beginning of like the transfer window. We were very kind of underwhelmed, like, oh great, we've got a Bournemouth loanee / Southampton cast-offs, etc. etc. Yeah, that played half a dozen games, for Southampton. And then we had obviously so much expectation for Gnonto, because of the fact Somerville's gone, Rutter's gone, he's going to be the main man. And because we've set the standards for Gnonto up here, he's got no place really to go than down. Whereas because we've set the standards for Rothwell down here, he's kind of got nowhere to go than up. So both of those players, they're probably actually playing a similar level for what they can do. But the way that we view things and the expectation that we have on a player kind of swerves what we actually perceive that their season's been like. So right now, Gnonto isn't in the greatest of form, but is he not in good form? Or were we just simply expecting too much? Were we hyping it? We have a tendency to hype our players up. And, whereas we were very like meh when Rothwell came in and it kind of seems that actually we're now like, oh my God, Rothwell and Tanaka, they're an absolute amazing partnership. What a creative duo. They really propel us forward, etc., etc. Whereas Nonto, we kind of expected to just, kind of take this, Somerville shirt and Rutter shirt and kind of strut forward and be bagging 20 goals and 15 assists kind of thing. And
should be.
Yeah,
it's the international. Should do it.
Yeah, but he's now gone back down to under 21s. He was only an international because Mancini was a little bit kind of crazy. So and desperate at that point. So yeah, I just think it's quite it's quite an interesting way to look at it in terms of Rothwell. We're all absolutely loving, but we didn't expect anything from him. Whereas Nonto, we're all, myself included, kind of get on his back a bit because he's not producing the numbers that we feel in our heads justifies him being there, essentially.
No, this is not us. This is him, because he thinks he should be playing in the Premier League. So
yeah.
Clearly, he thinks he's better than this league. So he should be a Rutter, Somerville. He's apparently too good for this league. Evie. We're in the Championship, and if he can't be doing it in here, then yeah, we can give him shit. Rothwell's not played a bloody game for God knows how long, and he's been thrown in when someone's been injured or so. But Nonto, there is an expectation, and he rightly deserves the shit if he doesn't play well. So, sorry.
No, yeah. I agree.
Yeah, I think they are Tanaka and Rothwell. I think fate intervened and put them together, and now they're our best at the minute centre midfield pairing. And I can't wait to see what happens when everyone's fit. I don't think Gruev has a shout, if I'm being honest with you. I think Ampadu comes in. We'll talk about tomorrow shortly. But anyway, Leeds came back out with a draw, which Evie made a good point of. That it's more than what we got last year on Boxing Day, and that Liam Miller, was it? Simple Jack scored an absolute
spotter.
Yeah. But anyway, let's move on to Guess the Santa. This week's Guess the Santa is sponsored by me because I made it. So let's get into it. So this ex-Leeds United Scandinavian player, this is the actual size of him, actually retired in 1998, and he loves a bit of Parma ham. So let's have a guess, Let's have a guess. Which ex-Leeds United Scandinavian player, Evie, do you think that was? By the look on your face, I'm assuming that you're going through all the Leeds United players in your brain.
Well, I was only 6 at that point, so I'm trying to...
And you didn't take notice of Leeds United football
Surprisingly, no. I know. Was shocking. We didn't have Sky, so I couldn't really watch any games, and I'm just trying to think of a load more excuses. The only Scandinavian one player that I can really think about is Alfie Haaland, but he played much later than that, so I know it's not him, but he's the only one that I can think of.
I'll give you some clues. So he started his senior career in 1984, and he played for Nasfiskens IK. He then joined Italian outfit Parma, came to us, we loaned him twice, and he ended up at Crystal Palace. Who do you think it is, James?
Thomas Brolin.
No. Nope. Who do you think it is, Evie? Have a guess.
I can't even.
Oh, well, I'll put you out of your misery. This is what you saw, and this is actually Thomas Brolin. I've gone serious this week, and if you look very closely, yeah, it was quite easy, to be fair. This is his actual size, by the way, and
that's a bit smaller. You've sent him down. You're like,
I actually got a photo of him after he sneezed. His beard actually came down a little bit, but there you go. It is what it is, So that was this week's Guess the Santa special. I never said it was a good special. I just said not so special. So it's your fault for being here.
Won, so it's very special.
Right then, let's get into some news. We've touched on it before. Lord Patrick Bamford has interest from Wrexham FC, the Man City of the lower leagues, and Genoa, or is it Genoa, however you say it. Our friend Andrea has come out and said there's nothing in the Italian press for the Italian side, and maybe that the cost is stacked up. Caleb Ekiban, is it Genoa? I'll call it Genoa. If you remember him, hello, I'm ready for your love. That guy. I can't see him going to Italy.
He was so
he
ready
was ready.
Yep.
Evie, I'll come to you first, mate. Wrexham, can you see him leaving? I mean, I think he's 3 years into a 5-year contract. He's on mega bucks. Does he go out on loan in January for you in order to bring someone in, maybe?
Yeah, I can only see him going out on loan. I couldn't see him going permanently for multiple reasons. If obviously his wage has been reduced to about 35,000, God, imagine that having a wage cut to £35,000 a week. Oh
Just
God,
pocket money to him anyway. That is.
I know, Jesus Christ.
Heart bleeds.
But
my heart bleeds.
I can't see many clubs being willing to pay, actual amounts to buy him, especially when you consider, obviously he's 31 now,
legs.
and he's had poor injury. He's had, barely any game time this season, so he, just kind of need another preseason in order to be suitable to play games. He never sees the end of season since the 2021 season. So, if you're needing him to get some goals in the, and get you promoted in the last few games of the season, then he'll probably miss out. But also from his point of view, if we get promoted, his wage would go back up to 70 grand a week. Now, for as much as Wrexham can do what they like in League One, if they get promoted to the Championship, the rules are a lot stricter, and they wouldn't be making the sort of money that could justify paying a 31-year-old 70 grand a week in the Championship. So I don't think that's even. I think loaning is the only way.
A portion of it, won't we, to get rid of him if we want?
If
he refused.
I was just about to say, like Herbert makes a good point. We might split the wages for the loan period. Maybe that we bite the bullet and we still pay like 85% of these wages, and they just cover it just to get him out the door in order to bring someone in. Because let's face it, he's behind Pirro and Joseph. Because you can't, I've seen people now where Bamford's coming on and everyone groans now. It used to be like, why isn't Bamford starting? I think Bamford is now past that threshold of people don't want him on the bench. Never mind.
I think even the people that have defended him are struggling to necessarily defend him, because other than obviously during that brilliant patch from like January to March, he was the starting number 9 for that period, and he was getting goals. He got a couple of assists, this, that, and the other. But other than that period, he wasn't really available for the first half of the season. And then again, when the going got tough at the end of the season and we needed, somebody to make a change, make a difference, he also wasn't available. And that's the 3rd consecutive season where he hasn't been available at the start and at the end of the season. So, if you know that you're only going to have a player available for that amount, is it worth the hassle, the paperwork, the aggro to send him out to then just pay 85 or whatever, a large percentage of his wages? What is the actual point when we could at least have him as an option?
Yeah. What do you think, James? Would you be heartbroken to see him go in January if he does go? The links are sort of, obviously it can be paper talk because January is just right around the corner.
I'll be ecstatic. Won't be heartbroken. I'll be ecstatic if he was going to a club in January. If there was a club out there willing to take him, because when he comes on for us, I think, shit, we're gonna lose now. That's what I think when he comes on. I'm not as worried when he starts, by the way, because when he starts, it's he's sort of the same sort of Joseph effect, because he does sort of work a bit hard. But yeah, when you're bringing him on as an option to try and win you the game or to get you back into a game, we've seen what happened the last time that happened. He celebrated and got injured against Brentford, weren't it?
Brentford or Burnley? But no, you're right.
Brentford.
It was the 2-2 game.
2-2, yeah. So yeah, I'm not confident when we're bringing him on as an option to sort of save the game. Like he's had like one really good season, and he worked hard in like the promotion season. The first season he came in, I think he was injured for that, and Ruth was keeping him out of the team for most of it anyway.
Ruth will keep it.
So,
but that sorry to jump in, but that's what we were. Evie were talking about where Millie in his competition. We bought Bamford for 10 million from Borough. Now Ruth saw him as competition and played his ass off. And let's face it, Ruth were a good player at the time. And I remember being there watching Bamford come on at the 80th minute, thinking, bloody hell, why are you starting him? But that was back then. But that's what we need. Sorry, I just wanted to.
And also as well, just to add to the mix as well, if you want to be really like sort of trying to get in players' heads and stuff, when you're looking at Perot and Joseph and you're thinking, wow, our competition is Bamford and he's fucking going to be injured in about most of the season, so you're almost depleting that competition just by having him as an option for you, because the other players are like, well, he ain't going to play a lot, is he? Let him go. It then just gives us the option to bring someone in, because that's what we need.
I agree.
We need someone up there. I don't care if it's a forward or a 10. We need one of them to either create even better chances that you can't miss them, or someone to put the bloody ball in the net. Because if we do that, like I say, we're good.
You'll never sing that, Eddie and Ketia. Statsman Beckham there. Right, yeah. So
I'm so sorry. Let me just say, thankful for that season, Bamford in the Premier League. No one was watching him. So this is when he's good, when no one watches him. So if he plays, everybody just close your eyes, because then we start banging them in the top corner and that.
Just turn around, face the other way. No, that's right. Right then, so Bamford to Wrexham or up to abroad to Italy. Personally, I would want him to go and bring someone new. And I think we're eyeing someone up in Maccabi in Tel Aviv, I believe. But anyway, that's by the by. Millier to Arsenal, links are popping up. Let's all laugh together. 3, 2, 1. And then we've got Strike links to the Premier League.
They only remember him from that very first game he played. That's what it is. Sorry, Dan.
Yeah, that's true. When he was an absolute howitzer with that left foot. Evie, right quickly, do you see Strike leaving in January? If it does, or even in the summer?
Summer is a different question, because Strauch has been here for a long time now. I think, other than Bamford, I think he's now our longest serving player, because we got him. I think we got him in the 18-19 season, and I think he was in like the under 21s, not 80s. But he has been with us for a long time and hasn't really. It's not that he hasn't been good, because he has been good, and I really like Pascal Strauch, and I would like him to go with us if we get promoted. But I don't know how much further he's going to go, so it might actually make good financial sense. I don't think he's irreplaceable, is what I'm trying to say, kind of thing. So if he was to go and we were to get a good cost for him, I don't think it would be the worst thing if we didn't get promoted and we were needing to sell. I'd rather sell Strauch and offer Tanaka a better, financial package kind of thing, because Tanaka you can grow with. Yeah, exactly. Whereas Pascal, I think, has reached. It's not that he has reached his absolute pinnacle, but I don't think the difference from him now versus the very top of his game is going to be much different.
Yeah. So he's got a lower ceiling, is what you're saying, compared to. Yeah, I do believe, like, say we do go up, I think the squad needs a massive plug in various areas for that level. Do you know what I mean? Because we all saw what happened when Rads didn't bother. Oh, we did all right last season. We won't plug any holes anywhere or invest in the future, that sort of thing. We've been linked with a player from Nottingham Forest. I can't pronounce his name for life of me, but it's this guy. He's actually familiar with Farke. I think his name is Omo Di Mideli. He's an Irish. Yeah, he plays for Ireland. Joe likes him. If you watch the national team in Ireland, he is quite good. But Farke is familiar with him. He did give him his debut at Norwich, so maybe we're sort of preempting, putting his feelers out for in case Voba does go, because you know what Voba's like. You rascal, you Voba. Yeah, so that's one to watch there. VAR in the EFL, Evie. WTF. Before we get into your opinion, though, I do want to ask you this question. What does this mean? What is this? I'll tell you what it is. It's a rude Dolph. See what I did there? See what I did? We're here all week. Go on then. VAR in the right quick. Sum it up in 30 seconds. VAR in the EFL.
Is this like actual VAR or the option to call out having like however many like kind of incorrect chances kind of thing? Like
less intrusive VAR has been tapped out there. So yeah, would it be a good idea? What I'm asking you.
I think if it's implemented correctly, the problem is we have a real lack of good officials from the top to the bottom, essentially, you know, all the way through, you know, the EFL and the Premier League. So trying to implement whatever rules you put in place is a struggle at the minute because the referees are just so poor, and the Premier League referees are now even worse because of the fact that they're all lazy. They don't make decisions because they expect a decision to be made by VAR kind of thing. So many times, like, you know, players get injured because somebody doesn't put their flag up when it's a real obvious. I know they're supposed to keep it down, but sometimes they're really obvious. So if it was less kind of, I like the idea of the challenge in terms of you've got X amount of chances, and if you think a decision is wrong, you know, obviously using the Preston with Whiteman, you know, we could have flagged that one and then Whiteman would have been off. So yeah, I like it in that way because as well it stops bias to a certain extent, because if one team is getting all of the decisions and things like that, and then the opposition has the right, hang on, that wasn't the right call at all kind of thing. And obviously if you get them right, then you don't use your incorrect kind of chances.
No, I agree. It's catch-22 for me. It'll go against us and it'll work for us, I suppose. If we had it in the Championship, in my opinion, if the where was it? I think it was Pirou against Swansea, was it? We scored the header when he was offside slightly. That goes against us, you know, all sorts of stuff. James, right quick, what do you think? Would it hinder us, do you think? Or the Championship? Are you willing to go with the status quo and just, if shit goes against us, it goes against us?
What the fuck will we give a shit about if it's in the Championship? Because we're not going to be in here. We're going to be in the Premier League where it's there anyway. And to say that it stops bias is absolute horseshit. Because even when we were in there, they missed so much for us. It was unbelievable that the stuff I was thinking about this earlier actually. There was the game at Liverpool. It was 0-0 at Anfield, and James has gone round Alisson and he's just scissored him in the thigh, and nothing. It was like, all right then, mate, brilliant. And there was so many things that happened. I know we lost 6-0 that game, but it might have been 4-0 if they had a player down. But what I'm saying is VAR. We're going to have it anyway in the Premier League, and it's still biased. They need to sort it out. I think that they've purposefully made these referees shit and missed decisions just so they can say, right, we need VAR now. Yeah, I don't want VAR anywhere, because I'd rather have referee mistakes than VAR mistakes. So,
but then slow the entire game, and it ends up becoming like a rugby match where you're stopping for 2 minutes at a time type of thing. And one thing that I will miss if we do get promoted is I will miss being able to celebrate a goal immediately.
Yes, yes, correct.
Because Ours will be checked every single time. Our goals that we score.
Yeah.
They'll try and find
I'm
something
still
wrong with
fuming
them.
from the Bamford Palace goal where he was fucking pointing for it and they give him offside for that. I'm still fuming from that, if I'm being honest. Right,
I'm
then.
still fuming about that Tottenham goal that Harry Kane scored when it was a clear foul on Meslier, and it didn't. And even all of the commentators were saying, "Oh yeah, surely that's going to be looked at," and it wasn't even looked at.
Just absolutely speared through the chest, wasn't he?
Yeah.
In other news, a quick. So we all know that VAR is one of them. Matthias Klick has been traded from DC United to Atlanta. I just thought I'd get that out there, and I think DC United. What are you playing at? That is top knob nomination worthy, I believe, in my opinion. Right then, let's move on to our next segment, and it's a segment which I'm starting to enjoy, and I think a lot of people have been asking about it, and it is Andrea's top notch. Now it is a Christmas edition.
He's actually thrown a dart there. You can't see the dart. Sorry.
Yeah, you can't see it. It's gone out of the thing. So I want to know, and in the comments as well. So I'm going to give you a series of things, and we're going to go a bit of a quick fire round. Where does it rank for you for a Christmas sort of special? So I'll go first. Mince pies. I love the mince pies. I love them. So for me, that is top notch. What about you, Evie? Are you a mince pie?
Yeah, but I'm quite specific. I don't like the really deep filled ones because I don't like raisins and sultanas. I like the thinner ones, and specifically like freshly baked, like thin ones with like icing sugar on top type of thing. But yeah,
so
I could have.
Sorry, go on.
I could have that. Like I could live on them with warmed up in the microwave with a bit of whipped cream on top.
If someone gives you a deep filled one, do you go, "What is this?" and you just throw it back in the face?
Yeah, I just absolutely.
Where's the meatballs
and raisins? Yeah, flying everywhere.
What about you, James? Mince pies?
Absolutely not. I think they taste like the belongings of an old man's pocket. Horrible.
Belongings of an old man's pocket. Right, I'm saving that one. Right then, let's go on to our next one. Die Hard. Is it a Christmas movie? I think so. Evie, is it a Christmas movie?
I think it's a great way to convince kind of men to get into Christmas films. You start with Die Hard, and then you're like, "Oh, well, this is also a Christmas film, so we'll just pop this
Jingle
on
all the
well."
Arnie's in it.
But yeah, I think it's a Christmas film because it's always on at Christmas time. And, it's like even though like the Harry Potter films aren't Christmas films, they're always on at this time of year. So I always relate them to Christmas.
Pinocchio. They're all Christmas films too, then, I guess.
For me, I'm in charge, so therefore it's a Christmas film. I don't care. Even
Bruce Willis said no. I agree with him.
Yeah. Well, it would see no. He loses his mind.
Yeah.
Right then.
You think it's
Christmas dinners? Do you or do you not have sprouts, Evie? For me, sprouts top notch. Because later on in the night, when I fart, my sheets fly off into the roof.
No, like we have them,
and
I have like half. That was quick for you, James. Well done. But yeah, I know they're vile, absolutely vile.
Oh, they're great. The green little balls of
cabbages.
Death.
Cabbage fun. What about you, James? Old man's pocket.
I never used to eat them because it's the old what comes out your ass used to put me off. But I don't mind them. They don't really taste of anything to me. You have to put loads of gravy on just to get a bit of flavour. So
it's like avocado to you. Avocado tastes doesn't it?
No, it's like a little tiny mini cabbage, like with an intense nothingness of flavour.
Such a wordsmith, James. Such a wordsmith. Yeah, so that is top notch for this week. We'll be back next time, I think. 100.
Dart. Sorry.
I've actually got a picture of Santa going through Italy, Andrea's native home. There he is, look, going straight through Italy. And then here he is in Beeston. There you go. It is what it is. I don't take the photos. Yeah. James,
Beeston all his prey.
did your email just go?
Yes, it did. But it's not an email. What it is? I've had 3 poems from Leeds players.
Well,
and you guys,
let's get into letters to James.
Letters to James.
Well, we got James.
Sorry, jump the gun there. So basically, it's 3 poems from Leeds players, and you guys have got to guess who it is. Okay.
Let's go there. Let's go.
So I'll go with the first poem right now. Here we go. Away in a manger. How far away though? Will it even get back? Is Jesus in there? Are all the animals there? And there's haystacks. Stacks sounds like snacks. I'm hungry, man. I wonder if the gaffer's got any cakes. Fuck it, I'm gonna ring him. I need some cake right now.
I have an idea. Evie, I'll let you go first. Because I'm chivalrous.
Is it a this season player?
These are current players.
Current players.
The club reached out and said, yeah, we'll get them to do it.
I was going to say Weston McKennie.
Let's speed it up. Well, you're wrong there, Evie.
Gonna go with
Bob?
Aronson. It was actually Joel Perot, and I think he was in mid-sesh of. Anyway, next one.
Of course. Right, yeah. Number 2.
Roden, the red-nosed defender, had a very shiny nose. He's always pulling a face like someone's just stepped on his toes. Ethan's a big soft shithouse. Tackled someone and broke his knee. Now he has to play right back. When Tanaka plays, it seems like there's 3. Then there's me, who's the fastest person alive. I'm probably the best player right now, although there's more turns in my nose than I've ever made in my car. Who's that?
Oh, it's my man. It's Mr.
Daniel?
James.
It is. Well
Ding,
done.
ding, 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 ding.
Well done. This one's a real difficult one, so you have to really think about this one.
On to the last one.
Silent night is when I will leave in January. Every time I score, I will score an own goal to cancel it out. I want my existence eradicated from the history of this team. I will never forgive Jesse Marsh. Who's this?
Is it Krampus? It's Maximilian Wöber, I will say.
Evie?
Yeah, I was going to go Wöber.
Well done.
Oh, it's a draw.
It's Max Wöber.
Well done, Evie.
Bonus round. No, I'm joking. There's not another one. Sorry. That's it.
That was this week's Letters to James.
Letters to James.
Might play that on loop and just try and get some sensory sleep in tonight. Right then, let's talk about Oxford tomorrow, Evie. There's obviously doubts over Struijk and Wöber. There's a debate over who starts where. Possible that we could see Ampadu at centre back again. Do you see any changes, and what would be your lineup?
Okay, so because no other option really, and I don't think Farke will change it. Obviously, Meslier in goal, Sam Byram left back. Then, if Struijk's not available, I would then say Ampadu, Rodon, Bogle, Tanaka, Rothwell, Joseph up front, Dan James on the right, Ramazani in the left, and he'll go Aronson. So he'll go Aronson.
Yeah. I just wanted to say this. James De Bayo, do we think he's ready, James? I mean, it's worth giving him against Oxford, who've just appointed Gary Rowett. Thank you for that. as well, Dr. Cox.
Dr.
Obviously, he's got championship experience, but he won't be there at the dugout because of the proximity of the announcement. I mean, I'm surprised to sack the manager in the first place, but where they've lost 4 of the last 5 games, they've got 1 point in the last 5 games, and what would be your lineup? And you expect us to batter him, as Herbert here says. This is probably something that you'd say.
It's too small a score. That is, should be at least 20 tomorrow. Is there a shout for Big Giliviegu, whatever his bloody name is?
Giliviegu, yeah.
Giliviegu, yeah. But he can play centre back. I think he probably will go Ampadu though, purely because he's the captain. If Strauch is injured, and obviously Wober, we know why he is injured. We know. Yeah, Byron Bogle, Samurai, Rottweiler. Got to keep James in while he's playing the way he is. Have to. He probably will go Aronson. And he might go Solomon tomorrow.
Yeah, it's good
because
shout.
He's been looking pretty good when he comes on recently. He was good against Preston. He sort of created that goal, didn't he? By coming inside and keeping the ball pretty good. And then you got to go Joseph. I mean, I'm not really expecting much from. I'm expecting about 10 behind the ball tomorrow. Gary Rowett's just come in. He's probably going to be like, let's just try and stop them from scoring. I don't think he's going to have much plans of them attacking. Or he might just go, you know what? It's a free hit. Let's just fucking go for it. Who knows? But I'm expecting I'm expecting a big score tomorrow.
Definitely, can we get some? I think he'll go Joseph, Aronson, Solomon. On the right will be Dan James, and you've got your Rothwell, Tanaka. I think Ampadu comes in next to Joe Rodon because he's the captain, like you say. Byram and then Bogle, and then I'd like to see more of Schmidt, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but then Gilivugi could be a shout. He's got the experience and he's got the height, as Dr. Cox says in the comments.
And it is against Oxford.
Does he have the speed though? That's the only issue. Is that
Strout didn't, and he's got away with it half the season. So he's played for France, for God's sake. Even good slow players, when they're good, they don't need. They can maneuver themselves pretty good.
But he hasn't played.
You like to think that he's gonna. No. I don't think he will play, to be honest with you. I'm just thinking it might be a shot.
No, I think he's just, a vibes person, which I am more than happy with because, if he came over and gave me a hug, it might be the best day ever because he's just like a proper beast of a man.
Who's that? Sorry.
All right, Ben.
Gilivugi.
Gilivugi. You know what you need to do? You need to get yourself one of these.
Stay away from him, you creep.
Teddy bear hugs.
Do you know what you need to do? Get him under one of these, the missile Perot.
Oh my god!
Get him under.
You'll miss it.
Yeah.
No, I don't mean it that sort of way. I just mean I bet you give really good comfort in if you were just having a bit of a moment, he'd give you a cuddle to make you feel better.
What if he hates you though, and he doesn't really want to cuddle you the way you want him to cuddle you?
Right, we're getting off track here. We're talking about something that may or may not happen. Right then, so let's get some score predictions from you. Then I'll start with you, Evie. Get some in the comments as well, and we'll read them out.
See, I don't think it's going to be this smash game that everybody thinks that it is, because I think that we will have some. I think the expectations are for the massive scoreline.
Sorry, Evie, I have to address this liable comment. This is not true. It's not true at all. She's a grown woman and she's married to James. Not this James, her husband James. Oh my god. Sorry, Evie.
I didn't even know that. How did that happen?
What was I going to say? Yeah, so I think it's going to be a 3-0 game. I don't think it's going to be
3-3. Then I was like, "What are you?"
No, it's not. It's not going to be a Portsmouth. Although, I'll touch wood to make sure.
We've got a 24 out of 24 points at home. I think I've just made that up in my brain, and my maths isn't really good. James, what about you? Are you going 6 or 7? Surely
6-0. See, I never my prediction right. I never what I think the score is going to be. It's what I think it should be. 6-0
Right. Okay.
Leeds. So you need to start listening to me. So what I predict is not what I think the score is going to be. It's what I think it should be. Okay. So let's just get that straight. So I'm never going to
Let me
win any
just get
leagues in this prediction thing.
Let me just get onto the EFL and tell them that what the
tell
scoreline
'em.
should be, and the referee. You know what I mean?
How far, Carl?
There's only
So start
there's only
shooting
so
more.
much now merch I can give out, mate. Do you know what I mean? I'm not printing
Come
it
on,
fast
mate.
enough. Yeah, I think Evie's right. I don't think it'll be one of them. I think it'll be 10 men behind the ball, soaking up pressure, maybe chance to sort of jump on one of our mistakes, or maybe just a quick counter like a Burnley. It only takes one moment. If they take the lead tomorrow,
This is
I
my
think
moment. Sorry.
no, genuinely, 'cause if
Christmas.
they're at the bottom fighting for survival to stay in this league already, yeah, I think I said 3-1 the other day, so I'm going to go 3-1 again. Yeah, so Oxford tomorrow,
no.
and yeah, let's get into the last and final segment. It is Top Knob.
Top Knob.
Right then, who is your top knob, Evie?
I mean, it would be really easy to just go the referee from the Preston game. And that's where I'm going to go, the referee from the Preston game, because that was sometimes you have to go for the obvious choice because there just really isn't another choice.
That's fair. That's fair. What about you, James?
I've got two nominations, equally as. Firstly, Melier, because sometimes you just need to be the man and not be the dick, and you're the dick. The second one is the Preston forward for standing on our Samurai's leg and nearly, possibly could have really took him out of our season, and I would have been devastated. So, Melier and Osmosovic, or whatever his name is.
Son of Osmosovic. Yep, I agree, but there's one person in particular that I really want to put on this bloody list, and it's this kid. This kid is the most annoying kid. If you're a parent, or even if you've seen the film Polar Express, he's the most annoying person on the bloody planet. Well, I've seen it. How am I supposed to know he's annoying in it if I haven't seen it?
Why don't you just punch your TV then?
I've gone through 3 of them. Anyway.
Stop putting it on, you madman. What's wrong with you?
I just like punching.
It's on again. Oh shit! I've got to turn the channel over. Oh, it's on again.
I really should get a remote. Yeah, so I think I'll go with the referee because he was absolutely terrible. Let's see if there's any nominations. Yeah, it is Osmajic or whatever his name is. So
exactly how you spell it.
Yep, it is. So you are this week's Topus Nobus.
Top Knob.
Right then, that is the end of this week's episode's Christmas special. Thank you for watching. Please do like and subscribe. We are trying to get to 1,000. We're about 900, just over 900. And if you want us to do more silly stuff, please continue to watch. I will say that, Evie, thank you very much. Thanks, Evie, for coming on again. It's always a pleasure. Tell us what's going on with Discourse of Peacocks. What can we expect?
Obviously the game tomorrow, so then I want to get a review out on Sunday. I'm going to try and get reviews out after the game's a bit quicker, but I'm making no promises. But yeah, I've got a few other bits and pieces, some little kind of hot take pieces that I want to put out. My Furpo one did pretty well the other day, so I think I'll go. I'm trying to make them a little snappier, a little shorter, but that's just not me. I like to talk. So, but yeah.
Really?
So do we.
I
don't
know,
make
right?
sense.
Don't get anything out of you when you come on here.
She's a mute when she comes on here. Yeah. So where can we find you? We can find you online at
Discourse of Peacocks on YouTube,
YouTube.
and then also my Instagram's just my name. So if you just type in Evie and just see whoever comes up.
Just type in woman shouting at Domino's delivery driver and she'll pop up and
I
you'll
will
find
pop so many hashtags.
James, are we on Sunday?
Well, I'm not, because we're not. I'm away Sunday, but I think me and Kev possibly might do on Monday if you can come with us.
Right, okay. Maybe I am off work at the minute. We'll let you know on the socials anyway about the Leeds house bit. What I will say is that this is the last episode, and we won't be back until the following week.
We're killing it. Right enough.
YouTube jail, here we come. No, there won't be an episode next week because of Christmas, and maybe not the week after for the New Year's. So we'll come back during the transfer window. So yeah, do follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and we're on all sorts of stuff. We do sort of skits and little memes and stuff like that. And sometimes we just throw stuff at Evie just for the fun of it. Just drive past them from deep-filled mince pies. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining us. And a wise man once said,
don't forget to like and subscribe, lads. Top notch. Hey up, bye, have a nice week, lads.
What a guy. Thank you. See you next time.